known fact about me, I just sleep down here. I just sleep in this room, just in case John Chayka does something else. Be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for. I yelled at Brad Dreliving for months, do something! And John Chayka just decided to do everything. But I will not lie to you, I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. I don't even come close to hating it. Emil Andrae is a Leaf! I mean, he was already kind of a Leaf, but when the Leafs got him from the Philadelphia Flyers just a few weeks ago, he was a restricted free agent with no contract. Now, he's a Leaf with a contract. The Leafs have signed Emil Andrae to a 2-year contract. There's a lot of 2-year contracts on this team, worth $1.55 million per season, which at the going rate seems pretty cheap. Now, if you're not a completely hardcore hockey fan, or you just have like a busy life with stuff to do, you might be like, I like the Leafs. Who's Emil Andrae? Yeah, no, that's a valid question, because if news were water, we've been drinking out of a fire hose for like a month now. The Leafs acquired Emil Andrae, Sammy Urson, and a 3rd-round pick from the Philadelphia Flyers in exchange for Joseph Woll and Simone Benoit. That trade happened on June 16th, which feels like somewhere between 2 days and 3 months ago. I can't tell which one it's closer to. That 3rd-round pick, ironically, was used on a goaltender, Juuso Inasto, out of Finland. Sammy Urson was flipped to the Ottawa Senators for a 5th-round pick, which Sammy Urson's pending free agent rights were worth the same as Darren Radish. That rules. That rules so much. And then the Sens signed him. So basically, what the Leafs get out of that deal is a 3rd-round pick, a 5th-round pick, and Emil Andrae. So who's Emil Andrae? Why do we care? And why is he a Leaf? He is a left-shooting defenseman who is 5'9", 189 pounds. Now, a few years ago, that would be known as a player I don't want on my team. That's a player no one wants on their team. He's a left-shooting 5'9" defenseman. That's not how hockey works anymore. It's not even close to how hockey works anymore. It's not to say that there isn't a place for big defensemen or big players. Oh, there's a place for big defensemen and big players. It seems forwards are shooting up and up and up and up. Defensemen, they need to be more mobile. And that is the exact opposite of what the Leafs blue line was last year. It was a defense made for an era that's not around anymore. Emil Andrae is a left-shooting defenseman who can play both sides, and that versatility is extremely important for the team to have, but also just for like his NHL career longevity. You got to be versatile if you're going to be a bottom of the lineup guy, and until he proves otherwise, which he might, he's a bottom of the lineup guy. Until he proves otherwise, he's probably not going to be in the lineup on every night. Until he proves otherwise, he's probably not going to be in the lineup most nights. I mean, the debate that we're having right now is, do you have Emil Andrae in your lineup or Troy Stecher? Now, hey, I like both those guys. It's nice to have options. John Chayka agrees. With the size thing, obviously 5'9" is very short by NHL standards, but I focus a little bit more on the weight. He's 189 pounds, and by all accounts, that is a very average NHL weight. What you don't want is your defenseman getting flattened or pushed around or losing puck battle after puck battle after puck battle. Realistically, Emil Andrae is a bowling ball. A tenacious, annoying little bowling ball. And there's a lot of players where I'm like, don't show me their charts. And there are other players where I'm like, in order to understand what they bring to a team, you gotta look at the charts. Annoyingly to some, that is definitely what Emil Andrae is, because a defenseman who scores a lot or a defenseman who puts up a lot of points does not necessarily mean a puck-moving defenseman. Emil Andrae is a puck-moving defenseman who doesn't necessarily put up a ton of points. Now, in his final season in Sweden, he put up 26 points in 51 games. In Sweden? That's a lot. And that was only a few years ago in the 22-23 season. All of his AHL totals suggest this guy has no trouble putting up points in the AHL. We're talking 6 points in 10 games, 32 points in 61 games, 16 points in 25 games, and last season he played 7 games in the AHL, 5 assists. Comes up to the Flyers to play most of last season, and did he score a lot? He did not. In 61 games, he had 2 goals, 11 assists, 13 points. But, as a lot of you, I'm sure, are yelling at the screen, you can't just measure how good a defenseman is by their point totals, and that's true. If that were true, Evan Bouchard would have won the Norris, and he would have been on the Canadian Olympic team. I hear you. That's a debate for another day. Fine. But if plus minus is your thing, you know where Emil Andrae ranked in plus minus on the Philadelphia Flyers last year in not even a full season? Second. He was second on the whole team. Noah Cates was plus 26. That guy is so underrated. That's a good player. Dude, Emil Andrae was plus 15. And he did that as a 23-year-old, now he's 24, in the NHL. The fact that the Leafs were able to get that player, that's pretty encouraging. Listen, if he doesn't turn into anything, he doesn't turn into anything. But you can't tell me that's not kind of impressive. Now, it is worth mentioning that a lot of Emil Andrae's success last season with the Philadelphia Flyers is probably owed to Rick Tocchet and his deployment of him with the Flyers. Because it's not like he was an incredible minute eater for the Flyers. He was actually tied for 17th in average ice time on the Flyers, 15 minutes and 20 seconds per game. If you want to really split hairs, amongst Flyers defensemen, he was 8th, tied for 8th in that department. Can he play on your power play? He can. The Flyers didn't use him a ton, but he can. He ranked 5th amongst Flyers defensemen in power play time on ice last year, just over 23 minutes, behind the likes of Jamie Drysdale, Cam York, Travis Sanheim, and Rasmus Ristolainen. Can he play on your penalty kill? He can. The Flyers barely used him there. He ranked 6th on PK ice time amongst Flyers defensemen last year, behind Sanheim, York, Sealer, Juleson, Ristolainen. I thought there was another name. That was it. And then it's Andrae. On average, Emil Andrae played 23 seconds of power play time per game and 11 seconds on the penalty kill per game. Emil Andrae plays the vast majority of his minutes in the NHL, or at least he has played the vast majority in the NHL at even strength. Here's what you need to know. The nerds love it. Like I said earlier with the charts, the nerds love it. I do not think this player is going to play every game, unless he blows us away, which would be great. Let's say the Leafs D-core is totally healthy next season, and it is roughly the way it stands. Let's assume Chris Tanev plays with Jake McCabe because they look awesome together. I don't know if that's how it'll work out, but let's say it's those two. Then you have like Riley and Radish. Yeah, I know those two probably shouldn't be on the same pair. Let's say that's what it is. All right, Benoit's gone. Carlo's gone. Then you're looking at a third pair that's something like Oliver Ekman-Larsson and either Emil Andrae or Troy Stecher. Philip Myers is also signed to a deal. My guess is he doesn't play above either of those two. There are also strong whispers that Pavel Mintyukov of the Anaheim Ducks is entertaining multiple offer sheets. And a lot of Leaf fans have been like, dude, that should be us. And dude, I wonder. John Chaika has been extremely busy this offseason. He's done a lot to the goaltending situation. He's done a lot up front. He hasn't done quite as much to the D-core. Now, the D-core, I mean, it's fewer players than the forward group. And he did add Darren Radish. Maybe that's significant enough. But this will they or won't they with Morgan Riley, I still don't have a read on it if they're actually going to do it or if they're not going to. Put it this way, if this is what the D-core is, at least heading into the season, that's probably good enough. What killed them last year, besides just not playing well, is everyone got hurt. And in particular, Chris Tanev, who does kind of make the world go round back there. Realistically, it'd be great to find someone who does a lot of the things he does, but my guess is there's not a ton of those out there, and if they are, they're very expensive to get in terms of money or assets. Look at the free agent defensemen available right now. There's none! And then there's the cap situation, which is interesting and requires a little bit of explanation. Now, if you watch my Gavin McKenna video, because he just signed a contract and I uploaded that like very recently, dude, there's just so much news. I talked about the Leafs cap situation. So, Puckpedia has updated. Now it includes the Gavin McKenna contract and the Emil Andrae contract. The Leafs right now are $2,752,382 above the salary cap. Here's the confusing part. That is with 14 forwards, 7 defensemen, and 2 goalies, according to Puckpedia. But The number is actually 15. The 64.6 million that the Leafs are spending on forwards, that's actually spread amongst 15 guys, not 14. And the reason it's 15 guys and not 14 is because of Max Domi. Max Domi, unfortunately, got surgery at the end of the season. It sounds like something went wrong, and we don't know if he's going to play this season, like at all. We definitely don't know he's going to be ready for the beginning of the season, and we don't know if he's going to be ready at all at any point. If that were to be the case, he makes $3.75 million against the cap, and that would go on to LTIR, which would put the Leafs not over the cap anymore. Which is to say the Leafs have a little bit of wiggle room. And after yesterday, kind of nice that they don't have any more restricted free agents who might get offer sheeted. No major ones up on the big roster anyway. Can you imagine if the Flyers trade Emil Andrae to the Leafs just to offer sheet him? I don't even know if you're allowed to do that. I almost wish they did just for the funsies of it all, and then I realized that's the team I cheer for, and actually no, don't you dare! Oh, they didn't. Oh, okay, good. So, what do you think of this deal? What do you think of this player? How many games does he play next season? Let's assume he's healthy. Halfway through the season would be 42 games. Do you think he's going to play half a season with the Leafs? He played over 60 with the Flyers last year, even though it was in somewhat of a reduced role. And do you think John Chayka is done? Because my answer is an emphatic no. But for now, that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really like to. Tell your friends. Dude, we have so much content on this channel. We have so much content on the SDPN YouTube channel. Even though we're going back down to 2 podcasts per week through the month of July like we always do, we're just absolutely getting bombarded with news. New Steve Dangle podcast every Tuesday and Thursday through the month of July. We just had another episode yesterday. Let's keep having fun. Oh yeah, we got the Carlson saga that doesn't have a resolution yet. The Ducks still don't have Gauthier, still don't have Minchikov locked up. He might get offer sheet, and that's just the Ducks. You're going to want to stay tuned.